Hey everyone, this is Lano here. I'm making this video because I was threatened by Potato. He's standing around the corner with a rifle. I didn't say anything. Yes, and I was told, because I know I would love to watch this Dwarf Fortress review. I'm just joking. Potato's not here, at least. Though he did threaten me. Nah, he didn't. I'm just joking. He did suggest this Dwarf Fortress review by SsethTzeentach. So we're back there again, eh? Strike the earth, praise, and in runes. I can't read runes, sadly. This is first video I'm watching of Seth where I don't know the game. I think I've heard the name Dwarf Fortress before, but I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I heard Dwarf Fortress ever. So, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm curious. So let's check this out.
Hey people.
Hey.
Here. Today, I'll be covering a long-running cult classic that's still updated and developed to this very day. A game which chronicles the lives and accomplishments of stumpy alcoholics as they struggle to avoid sobriety. A game where the most ludicrous events take place.
Cool. I dig the elephant. Well, I would say, personally, dwarves are my favorite fantasy race. You know, screw elves, screw orcs. Fuck the dwarves. I will.
Place daily, where civilizations rise and fall just because someone left a Necronomicon in the public library. The UI is so useless and convoluted that you'd honestly have an easier time playing Microsoft Excel.
I'm a performance artist.
Cool.
Dark fantasy.
Beautiful. Amazing pixel arts there.
I'm speaking, of course, about Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is less of a game and more of a complex fantasy world simulation made by one guy over 20 years, and probably for the rest of his natural and unnatural lifespan, as we plan to crowdfund Tarn Adams a synthetic body so he can focus on what truly matters. Dwarf Fortress really is one of the greatest autism projects to ever blossom. Fun fact, it's also the hardest game to run on PC. Even an i7 processor chokes and dies the moment you forget to sterilize your cats. If not for...
They are sterilized, so my graphic card should be safe. I just want to be sure. But it's kind of fun, you know? I like this kind of, civilization building kind of thing. Though it makes... I think I've heard of this game, definitely. At least the older versions. I think one of my friends might have played it back in the days. But I was so dumb I couldn't understand it.
The ever-increasing technological demands of Dwarf Fortress, AMD and Intel would be bankrupt right now. To even begin playing Dwarf Fortress, you'll need some prescription medication. But more importantly, you'll need a world to play in. So, we create one, we set some parameters, and the game will then calculate 250 fucking years of history for this randomly generated world. And, depending on your computer,
cool.
This may also take 250 years. Once the world is made, it's all yours, and like an abusive lover, she will caress and beat you senseless, and each time, you'll come back for more. There's two main game modes you can play in Dwarf Fortress. You can either choose to embark on distant lands and lead a fortress to ruin, or die horrifically in the pursuit of adventure. To begin, let's cover Fortress mode first. All you have to do is pick a nice place to embark, and that's about it. Despite common myths, Dwarf Fortress isn't complicated. Just follow a couple of tutorials, and you'll be a seasoned veteran in no time. You should also download and use the Lazy Noob Pack because the game is almost unplayable without it. Some may disagree with this statement, but to put it simply, they're fucking wrong. These same people will disagree with my choice of tile set or
Oh god. Ah yes, the fedora wielding samurais, the most elite gamers out there. Don't worry, gamers, we have this band of fedora wielding samurais. Yeah, we are safe. Though, in a way, it kind of reminds me of, like, any Bethesda game. Fallout, Skyrim, Oblivion, all that. Especially, like, Oblivion and up. Where literally most things are fixed by people making mods. And playing the game without mods is boring. I want helicopter to this once again. It glitched out on me. I don't know what happened. Like, literally, the tits out of the breastplate and then spinning around, and then like, I was like, oh man, she's about to take off any moment. She didn't though, but it would be fun.
Or the fact that I use a tile set at all. To answer these concerns and make this video that much easier to watch, I will be using all of the tile sets at random. In Fortress mode, you start out with
Challenge
7 dwarves,
accepted.
given the difficult task of establishing civilization. The longer you survive and flourish, the more migrants will arrive from neighboring cities, attracted by the promise of your growing fortress. From there on, any number of things can happen. Disaster, tragedy, invasions, and tantrums.
Wait, what is for disaster? What tragedy?
From neighboring cities, attracted by the promise of
missed
your
that.
growing fortress.
I see.
From there on, any number of things can happen. Disaster.
Darkos possessed by unknown forces. Darkos Smith blushes. Dude, first of all, that's an awesome name. Possessed by unknown forces. That can be problematic though.
Tragedy, invasions, and tantrum spirals which threaten to end your fort at any given moment. But whether you live or die, just remember, losing is fun. It's impossible to cover everything. So, let me tell you some stories. The first fortress I ever founded was absolutely terrible. We had no metal, so instead we fought with sticks and traded pottery for any possible scrap of metal. We also lived in
Sticks and stone may break my bones. There we go.
constant fear. There was a were-zebra on the loose.
A were-zebra? Dude, I would love to see. That's fucking awesome, man. Dude, fuck werewolf. Who needs that? Let's go with were-zebra. It stands still, you can't see it, because your eyes are dumb.
Kept eating my chickens and trampling my dwarves. As if I couldn't escape the furry menace in real life, it torments me in my video games as well. It turned out that the were-zebra was a human musician who plays at my tavern, so I let him stay and snap a few chicken necks every month. The place was actually quite successful. 5 years on and no major invasions. What the hell? I asked my friend, who knows Dwarf Fortress, to take a look. He came back shocked and told me, "You're not at war with the goblins." How? I had no idea. My fortress was a place of culture and learning, of drunken revelry and international diplomatic renown. Life proceeded as normal. And then, one day, one of my guests of honor, a legendary human wrestler, had too much to drink and went into a murderous rage. He proceeded to grab a goblin dancer and pulled off her lower jaw. As she was screaming, he began thrashing her with her own jawbone. The situation quickly deteriorated as she retaliated back. My other dwarves, upon seeing that a man was under attack and fearing for his life, used appropriate self-defense to remove the assailant's ability to chew food, launched into a furious brawl. It was a bloodbath that marked the beginning of a race riots. Every goblin in my fortress was slaughtered. For our acts of racial cleansing, the goblins had declared war on us. 1 week.
I mean, in a way, it's bleeding hilarious, but at the same time, it's fucking awful. God damn, like ethnic cleansing on the fucking goblins map. That's just awful. Holy crap. And pro wrestler. Oh, oh man. We had peace. And then, of course, Barney, the wrestler, needed to get drunk and rip off the jaw of one goblin. Like, come on. Come on.
Couldn't win, and all because some retard couldn't handle his mushroom wine. Several months later, my fortress was swallowed by the Green Horde. Those who weren't murdered walled themselves off, went crazy and consumed each other. The rest starved to death. Dwarf Fortress, a fun, light-hearted experience for the whole family. My second fortress fared slightly better, until I dug too deep. My third?
Whoops.
Well, we all know how this ends already, right? One of my dwarves got possessed, so I walled off his workshop, forgot about it, and accidentally opened up his crypt. In the middle of town, the nauseous fumes from his hot, decomposing body erupted across several levels, driving everyone insane from the sight and stench of his swollen cadaver. In the chaos,
Oh my god! That happens? Well, I mean, I can understand. That is something you see in a horror movie, like, this is an ancient tomb that had been locked away for centuries. One dumbass half American, oh well, time to knock this shit down with dynamite. Oh, Kent, you're so amazing. I know. And I got the treasure that is said to be cursed by demons from 3,000 years ago in my back pocket. What could go wrong? Where are my nuts?
the mother dropped her toddler into a shallow pool of water. The child drowned, causing the mother to go into a tantrum and attack an experienced axe dwarf, who decapitated her. The dead bodies caused more tantrums, which would result in even more dead bodies, which eventually reduced my population to a single person, a single axe dwarf, who was now considered legendary, having gained enough experience from beheading everybody else.
I would love to see Gimli like that. You have my axe. You know, like a Swiss knife, like 20 axes poking out like vroom. I'm ready to kill.
Fourth attempt was actually fine. The fourth still stands as a grisly reminder of why we have health and safety. I read online somewhere that you could train your dwarves extremely quickly by constructing a danger room. The idea is simple. We put a dwarf in a room filled with traps, we activate them, and our brave warriors will gracefully dodge and block every single one of them. But this process wasn't fast enough, so we replaced the traps with coins. We hit the lever and 500 freshly minted coins would harmlessly ricochet at high speed across the room, turning our dwarves into professional soldiers instantly. However,
and if that is not a dwarf thing, I don't know what is. Like, if you can dodge a coin, you can dodge a goblin.
It didn't work. 500 coins suddenly ricocheted at high speed and destroyed my dwarf's windpipe. Even the best surgeons available couldn't operate quick enough to restore oxygen supply. The cause of death was ruled to be asphyxiation by legal tender. Not to be dissuaded, I tried to optimize coin training. I made my men wear 5 layers of cotton around their necks. The results? Several women were now widows, and about a dozen men were now buried without a throat. It turns out coins are very dangerous. Attempt number 5, my current and final fortress. One day, I receive a notification. One of my master engravers had just sculpted a masterpiece on the dining room wall. I find the engraving and read the description.
Engraved on the wall is exceptional design image of Atlumni Kolisat, the dwarf and Osmidi killed than the dwarf by Atlum Kolisat. Strike down Osmodi. The dwarf related to the killer of Osmodi killed by Atlum. Wow. Wow, this guy really likes to show off his killing, doesn't he?
Just sculpted a drawing of himself stabbing another dwarf, and soon after, he actually stabbed him. What an
He hadn't done it yet? Oh my god! I think... Oh my... I think we should have stopped him. Oh my god.
Absolute lad. This was also about the time I decided to embark on a haunted biome. And my personal advice, don't do that. Nothing dies on a haunted biome. The moment you kill an animal, it gets back up. The moment you chop off a limb, it gets possessed and tries to choke you. Did you know this applies to shellfish and crustaceans as well? I didn't, but I've just lost a good fisherman to an undead pile of lobster shells. If all of this sounds like too much to handle, then you can play Adventure Mode instead. Adventure Mode lets you design and control a single character that can interact with, influence, and shape the world. Once again, it's impossible to cover everything. So, instead, I'll share some of my character's exploits. The very first character I ever made was a human, locally renowned for his acts of heroism. I didn't know the controls and didn't really care. I spent my entire time accusing children of being vampires and throwing silver at them until they died. No one dared intervene in my righteous crusade against darkness. Incidentally, one of the people I accused was was actually a vampire who proceeded to kill me instantly to get rid of the evidence. My second character was a kobold who had successfully integrated with modern civilization. To demonstrate how integrated I was, I immediately assassinated the king. To my surprise, the guards didn't even care. My reward for committing regicide was monarchy. I had become the new ruler of this kingdom. I spent the rest of my career spreading...
Oh nay, I better not give Potato an idea to his kobold. Oh no, that would not be good. And I do agree, kids, you know, children, they are spawn of the darkness.
Rumors that the previous king was murdered by myself. Everyone refused to believe it and said I, the king, was full of shit. My third character managed to find a really nice book, a book of necromancy, which I generously donated to one of my fortress libraries. After retiring from adventuring and checking up on the place, I was pleasantly surprised to find the place overrun with undead. Then, I got bored and installed some lore-friendly mods. Currently, I'm playing as Vegeta, a local Saiyan prince who accidentally used instant transmission to teleport to hell. There,
well,
I learned that the wrestling system in Dwarf Fortress is extremely elaborate, allowing Vegeta to chokehold demons while he plucks out their necks. After returning from the underworld, Vegeta spent several hours vomiting on townspeople and indirectly killed a child by doing push-ups. Later that day, an elvish serf refused to yield to the Saiyan prince. He rejected his generous demands for both of his shoes in exchange for his life. Now, I'm not very good at Dragon Ball Z lore, but I don't remember Vegeta being able to make Destructo discs. But who gives a shit? In this mod, he can. So, I decapitated a bunch of elves with energy discs and turned into a giant ape. Then I got drunk and crawled on the floor, stealing people's genitals. In case you haven't figured this out,
Oh no, Vegeta! Yeah, let's steal their shit.
Already, Dwarf Fortress is an amazing game, and not only that, it's unique. There's nothing quite like it. It's a sandbox and you make your own fun. And if you get bored of sand, there's a billion mods out there which make the game that much more intricate and entertaining. Sure, it's hard to get into, but then again, so are nursing homes. I give it a perfect score. Perfection is subjective, which is why everyone will see something different. Or something gay. As always, more content to come. So
I'm okay with the gay
This
one.
video comes out much later than expected. What's up with that, Seth? You lazy schmuck? You've not even taken our money since November. Truth be told, I took a corporate position in December. Then, I realized I can do 100 times more by myself. So, I'm going all in. Seth is going full time. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild who have been generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. I missed the chance to say this before, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and have a Happy New Year.
Oh. Man, oh god, this game. I need to try this game out, because holy crap. That's pretty fun. Oh my god. Oh, god. I mean, to be fair, it sounds more... the things happening to him when he's playing sounds like literally the adventure of... well, everyone in my D&D group, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much what's happening with them and what they are doing. So, that's about right. Oh my god, this is amazing though. And of course, links to Seth's channel and the original video is linked below. Check him out, give him support, and I will be back with more reactions, more let's plays and whatnot here on the channel. So, thank you everyone, see you later on, and I'll continue super great day.